If the only time you've ever posted about the epidemic of gun violence in this country in the last few years was to lament the shooting of a professional bigot the same day that we had another school shooting 30 minutes later that you also elected to say nothing about, I don't think you care about gun violence in this country. You're just signaling your support for a guy who built a career off of spreading white supremacist propaganda and stoking hate toward marginalized people. You shouldn't be shot because of your opinions. Yeah, you're right. Hey, couple of things. One, there's no suspect in custody, so you don't actually know the alleged motivation behind this killing. And spoilers for you, typically the ideology behind these kinds of attacks are inscrutable and inconsistent. But more importantly, I noticed that nobody who's absolutely hand-wringing over the protection and concern of Charlie Kirk's opinions are combining that with any kind of direct quotes. Why is that, do you suppose? Which is your favorite quote? Which is the best one? Was it the time that he said that gun deaths in America were acceptable in order to preserve the Second Amendment? Were you talking about the time he said that if he goes on an airplane and sees a black pilot, he goes, "Ooh, I hope he's qualified"? Were you thinking more about the time that he called gay people an error, or said that trans people were a, quote, throbbing middle finger to God? Why are you not packaging the Nazi propaganda with your tributes to the far-right podcaster? We went less than 30 minutes between school shootings in this country yesterday. We need comprehensive gun reform laws. We need universal health care and access to that care. We need increased labor power and wages, things that meaningfully address the rot at the core of our social fabric. And we need to disabuse ourselves of this notion that these hate mongers dressing up their prejudice in the cloak of civility and pseudo-debate for profit are these passive and innocent bystanders, rather than active and willing participants who cheer on the fascist violence that ultimately consumes them too.